Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Okay, today we will be doing chapter 9. Chapter 9, the most confidential knowledge. Slok 9.13. 9.13. Mahatmana tu mam partha Devim Prakrutim Asrita Bhajanti Ananya Manoso Natva Bhutadim Avyayam Mahatmana tu mam partha Devim Prakrutim Asrita Bhajanti Anyana Manoso Natva Bhutadim Avyayam Mahanastu Mampatha Devim Prakritim Ashrita Bhajanti Anya Manoso Natva Bhutadim Avyayam Mahamanastu Mampatha Devim Prakritim Ashrita Bhajanti Ananya Manoso Natva Bhutadim Avyayam Devim Prakritim Ashrita Bhajanti Ananya Manoso Natva Bhutadim Avyayam Mahatmanastu Mampatha Devim Prakritim Ashrita Bhajanti Ananya Manoso Natva Bhutadim Avyayam Mahatmanastu Mampatha Devim Prakritim Ashrita Bhajanti Ananya Manoso Natva Bhutadim Avyayam Mahatmanastu Mampatha Devim Prakritim Ashrita Bhajanti Ananya Manoso Natva Bhutadim Avyayam
Mahatmanastu Mampatha
Mahatmanastu Mampatha
Devim Prakritim Ashrita
Devim Prakritim Ashrita
Bhajanti Ananya Manoso
Bhajanti Ananya Manoso
Natva Bhutadim
Natva Bhutadim Avyayam. Okay, translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So word for word translation. Mahatmana, the great souls. Two, but Mam, unto me, Partha, O son of Pritha. Devim, divine, Prakrutim, nature, Ashrita, having taken shelter of, Bhajanti, render service, Ananya Manasa, without deviation of the minds, Natva, knowing, Buddha, of creation, Adi, the origin, Abhyaya, inexhaustible. O son of Pritha, those who are not deluded, the great souls, are under the protection of the divine nature. They are fully engaged in devotional service because they know me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, original and inexhaustible. Please repeat after me. O son of Pritha, those who are not deluded, the great souls, are under the protection of the divine nature. They are fully engaged in devotional service because they know me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, original and inexhaustible. Purport. In this verse, the description of the Mahatma is clearly given. The first sign of Mahatma is that he is already situated in the divine nature. He is not under the control of the material nature. And how is this affected? That is explained in the 7th chapter. One who surrenders unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna, at once becomes free from the control of material nature. That is the qualification. One can become free from the control of material nature as soon as he surrenders his soul to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is a preliminary formula. Being marginal potency, as soon as a living entity is free from the control of material nature, he is put under the guidance of the spiritual nature. The guidance of the spiritual nature is called Devi Prakriti, divine nature. So when one is promoted in that way, by surrendering to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one attains to the stage of great soul, Mahatma. The Mahatma does not divert his attention to anything outside Krishna, because he knows perfectly well that Krishna is the original Supreme Person, the cause of all causes. There is no doubt about it. Such a Mahatma of great soul develops through association with other Mahatmas, pure devotees. Pure devotees are not even attracted by Krishna's other features, such as a four-armed Mahavishnu. They are simply attracted by the two-armed form of Krishna. They are not attracted to other features of Krishna, nor are they concerned with any form of a demigod or of a human being. They meditate only upon Krishna in Krishna consciousness. They are always engaged in the unsavoring service of the Lord in Krishna consciousness. Om Ajnana-timirandasya Jnana-jnana-salakaya Chakshur-ulmilitam yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah Shri Chaitanya-manobhistam Sthapitam yena bhutale Swayam Rupa Kalameyam Dadati Swapradantikam. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpadrupyasya Kripa Sindhavyo Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, very little recap. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna has presented three levels of knowledge. Level 1 is confidential knowledge, which is contains in chapters 2 and 3, which is the difference between body and soul. Confidential knowledge. Level 2, more confidential knowledge. Is chapters 7 and 8 is the knowledge of the Absolute and how to attain Supreme. And now we come to level 3, which is the most confidential knowledge. And that is how to convert knowledge into realization. So 3 levels, level 1, level 2, level 3. We are in level 3, 9.13. So these slokas are all concerned with the most confidential knowledge. The prerequisites for gaining this knowledge is basically 2, that you should be non-envious and you should have shraddha, you should have faith in accepting this knowledge. So, with that in mind, this confidential knowledge, slokas from 4 to 10, show Krishna's relationship with this material world. Slokas from 4 to 10. 1 to 3 was just like an introduction saying what this is, the most confidential knowledge. 4 to 10 is relating to the Krishna's relationship with the material world. Right? Now, there are so many very beautiful, wondrous things mentioned in those slokas. And that says the wonderful acts described in slokas appear to be inconceivable in nature. They appear to be inconceivable in nature. They seem to be superhuman. So much so that some people are not easily accepting that. They are not prepared to understand and appreciate that. And for some people, it causes misunderstanding. Right? When they listen, they hear about Krishna's inconceivable acts, they cannot understand him that he cannot be, it is just not possible. Those events could not have taken place. It is not possible for him to be doing like this. Now, this is because their enviness comes in the way. Right? If they are envious, they will not be prepared to accept what has been written and heard about Krishna. That is topmost. Their atheism comes in the way. Enviness, atheism, their impersonalism comes in the way. Their limited senses cannot comprehend. So all these factors cannot make them appreciate and understand Krishna. So they refuse to accept Krishna as a God. That's why in 9.11, Bhagavan has to mention, fools deride me when I descend in the human form. They do not know my transcendental nature as the Supreme Lord of all that be. So here Bhagavan is saying that fools deride me. So those type of people are considered fools. They have no knowledge about Krishna. These fools cannot understand that just because Krishna appeared in a human form, he is not a common man. When he appeared as a human being, doesn't mean he is a human. He just took on the form as a human being. So, he is not a common man. He is the supreme controller, and his body is Sachit Anand, eternal bliss and knowledge. He is all pervading. He is the proprietor of everything, and he can award liberation to anyone. He is the master of the material energy, and he is controlling the infinite and the finite, and yet is apart from all these manifestations. So all these factors show Krishna to be so great, but these people cannot accept him as other than just an ordinary human being, because he came in the body of a human being. Such fools who mistake Krishna to be a common man are called Buddha. Right? They are called Buddhas. At the other end of the spectrum, now we go right 180 degrees. On the other end of the spectrum, there are pure devotees who know that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. They completely surrender unto him and engage in Krishna consciousness, devotional service of the Lord. They are called Mahatmas. So this slok number 13, is concerned with who is a Mahatma. So explain that this knowledge is not being appreciated by Buddhas, and at the complete opposite end are the Mahatmas. They are capable of having known Krishna, and they are rendering service to Krishna. So, how are the Mahatmas? Number one, they are great souls because they are already situated in the divine nature, i.e., not under the control of material nature. They have taken shelter of the Devi Prakriti. In 7:14, it says, this divine energy of mind, consisting of the three modes of material nature, is difficult to overcome, but those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross over it. Right? So these are the people who have been able to cross over. Right? Number two, these great souls are also very, very rare, as stated in 7:19. After many births and deaths, he who is actually in knowledge surrenders unto me, knowing me to be the cause of all causes and all that is. Such a great soul is very rare. Right? So they are under the shelter of Devi Prakriti. They are also very rare because it takes so many people just to come into bhakti. From there is only one person who may know Krishna, and that is the slok which is 7:18, which is Bornam Dharmana. Number three, these great souls have taken shelter of Krishna's 100%, and their business is to worship and glorify Krishna. And as stated in 8:15, after attaining me, the great souls who are yogis in devotion never return to this temporary world, which is full of miseries because they have attained the highest perfection. So the Mahatma's next stage is spiritual life. So these are very high level yogis in devotion. Number four, they achieve the ultimate aim, being the association of the Supreme. They attain the association of the Supreme in one of the 5 rasas: Sandras, Dasya-ras, Sakya-ras, Vatsala, and Madhurya-ras. In one of the 5, they establish a relationship with the Supreme, and they are these 5 rasas are given in 8:14 as well. Number 5. Engage in 9 forms of devotional service: hearing, chanting, remembering, serving, worshipping, praying, obeying, maintaining friendship, and surrendering everything. They engage themselves continuously in one or all of these 9 forms of bhakti. Number 6, they are not even attracted by Krishna's other features as the 4-armed Mahavishnu. They are simply attracted by the 2-armed form of Krishna. And as per 9:14, which is the next sloka after this, it says, what are they supposed to be doing, or what do they do? Always chanting my glories, endeavoring with great determination, bowing down before me, these great souls perpetually worship me with devotion. Bhajanti ananya manaso, render service without deviation of the mind. They only meditate upon Krishna in Krishna consciousness. I was reading somewhere that Srila Prabhupada had mentioned somewhere that these Mahatmas have big hearts. Their hearts have been enlarged. Their hearts have been enlarged because Krishna resides in them. So when they are doing bhakti, even Bhagavan is very much interested in reciprocating with these Mahatmas. Mahatmas does not differ, as it wrongly been stated, who have put a stamp on political leaders. Mahatma should be a person, not a politician or some great person as we understand in this material world, but someone who is capable of guiding one to Krishna and nothing else, no one else. It is only a person who can guide you back towards Krishna and not some political leader, not maybe an actor, whatever. Those are not called Mahatmas. If they are strongly reduced. In short, we all have to become Mahatmas. Our duty is to become Mahatmas. It is no point just doing little bit of service, little bit of coming to the temple. It should be 24 hours thinking about Krishna all the time. So, how to do it is basically everything belongs to Krishna. And consequently, I belong to Krishna. Since everything belongs to Krishna, I being part of that everything, I also belong to Krishna. So my duty is to do what? Is to do devotional service. I belong to Krishna, I have to do devotional service. And what is the aim of it? So I can have a relationship with Krishna. Yeah? So this is what our process should be. That we all have to turn to become Mahatmas. It is also said somewhere that to obtain liberation is quite easy. To obtain liberation is quite easy. But to obtain the bhakti of Bhagavan, Krishna, is extremely difficult. So unless we start now, follow the regular principles, we do then we will be able to proceed to become Mahatmas. Hare Krishna. Granth Raj Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki, Srila Prabhupada ki,